battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Welcome to the Zorpazorp Battle Games in Middle-earth livestream. In this series, we cast our gaze back in time to the roots of our beloved Middle-earth strategy battle game to explore the fortnightly magazine serial Battle Games in Middle-earth. Each episode, we will delve into a single issue, poring over a treasure trove of retro gaming, following in-depth painting guides, terrain tutorials, and some crazy battle reports, all with a modern twist so you guys can enjoy them in your games at home. With each installment, we'll also focus on a release of models that accompanied the magazine, following their journey from painting bench to tabletop, and then at the end of every live stream, they'll be randomly assigned to one of our loyal Patreons to continue their days of gaming abroad, spreading the gospel of Zorpazorp. So, in the immortal words of the magazine itself, let battle commence. Welcome to Zorpazorp Gaming. My name is Lachlan Linton Keane, and we are back with another installment of the Battle Games in Middle-earth, the, well, incredible live stream series that we usually do fortnightly, that we didn't do last fortnight because, of course, we had our special Return to the Tournament gaming live stream, which a lot of you guys enjoyed, apparently, which is really exciting. But we've got some classic gimme action today. We're painting up the wonderful Grishnahk, a fantastic orc character, famous from his scenes in the Two Towers, of course. And we've got a cracking battle report as well, which is very sneaky. We've got some blue on blue today. We've got Grishnahk fighting his beloved Uruks companions over Merry and Pippin. It's going to be fun stuff. It's a good little scenario. Let's have a look at the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if everything's going along nicely. I was just watching the intro there, which of course, the intro to the Battle Games Middle-earth segment, which I must have cut like nearly a year ago now, and it feels like longer than that. It may have even been longer, but yeah, there's some old stuff in there. There's like painting Elfhelm and the other Orc Captain, the Goblin Chieftain, Golf Imble, and then like terrain projects that just feel like so long ago. I've done like so much since then, and of course we've done so much on the streams. At some point, I should update that intro video and do like an update video of all the progress that we've achieved on the stream. Have a look at everything that we've painted. Looks like everyone says that we can hear me lovely. Fantastic. Did you guys enjoy that stream from last week where we did, it wasn't on the Monday, it was on a Saturday because that's when the tournament was. That was using a friend of mine's live stream studio where they've got 3 or 4 cameras set up, and I just watched a couple of the lads play games and did some commentating and like did the live vision switching between them. Definitely a few kinks to iron out with how we source the audio and that sort of thing, but it was very fun, and we may do a hell of a lot more. I quite liked it. So let's jump in and say hello to everybody, see who's in the chat. T-Tine says, will there be a battle report after painting? Yes, absolutely there will. It should be very good. I'm very excited about it, actually. Georgie Ramstead is watching from upstate New York. Johnny Russell from Scotland. Dirk Siepenkotter, he's watching from Germany, of course. Mr. Dirk just sent me a wonderful package, which I did intend to have within arm's reach. It's just over there. We'll go through it at some point. I tell you what, when we go over to the desk, we'll have a look at all the goodies that Dirk sent. He said, I can only join for the first few minutes because I need to go to work early tomorrow, but really looking forward to watching this episode after work. Awesome, Dirk. Don't worry, it's going to be a good one. GW Grenoble says hello from France. Simon Volia is always joining us. We've got Benny WL from England. Cannot wait. Yes, Grishnahk's an exciting model. I'm excited to paint him as well. We've got GBHL Podcast Damien is joining us. Jazzy Payne. Morning, Jazzy. How are you, dude? It is morning for you, and we're nice and early for us. It was a tough one to get out of bed this morning, I tell you. And it's getting hot in Australia, too. All of you poor buggers around the world are going into winter, which is a scary time during COVID, of course. And we are moving into summer, which I'm very happy about from that point of view, but man, it's getting hot. The heat wave begun yesterday. It was only like 32, which is very chill for Australia, but we were up in Brisbane seeing some family friends, and the humidity up there was nuts. It felt like 38. It was hot. We've got James Palmer joining us from the UK. Aaron Nunes, of course. He says, we're waiting. I'm here now, so it's all good. It's all good. Jody's joining us from Ireland. Sam Fortin from Vermont in the USA. Ranga Kataberg, our correspondent from the Netherlands. T-Titans is joining from Illinois. Very nice. Freak Portfolio from Amsterdam. Oregon, US for Charlie Moreno. He says, greetings, Zorpians. How you going, Charlie? You're going to be featuring pretty soon on the channel. We've got some cool stuff that Charlie sent that we're going to be looking at in a video very soon indeed. We've got, I might talk a little bit about like future schedule and stuff at the end of the hello, go through a bit of housekeeping. Frederick Schulz says some Guten Abend from Germany, which I think, Guten Abend, is that good evening? I mean, it would be evening, or might be good night, I don't know, I can't remember. I was in Germany this time last year, no, year before. But it's all gone now. I can't remember it. He said he's going to stay on for a while and then watch the rest tomorrow. Dirk is mocking him for German typos. He's well qualified to do that. That's fair. Michael Haskell's joining us. Hey, Mikey, how you going, man? He says, what madness and mayhem is in store, I wonder. I wonder too. Grishnahk is going to do some stuff. It's going to be fun. Marcel H is joining us. Samuel Cynthia. He says, well, happy to have you joining us, Sam. Frederick Schulz, more discourse in German that I can't follow. Declan has joined us. Good morning, Deckers. Has anyone been watching Declan's Kirathungal build, the Kirathungal, in the Zorpazorp community Facebook group? It is off the wall, man. It's nuts. When I go over to New Zealand next, Declan and I are going to do some filming and do a little battle report on it. It's going to be awesome, among lots of other stuff we have planned, but we will be doing that. It is such a cool build. I'm loving it. So if you haven't seen it, just go onto the community Facebook page. He's put some photos up recently of like where he's at as of yesterday, I think. And it is looking good. It's so good. And it's like beautiful Bunnings orange foam. It's I love it. I love everything about it. Everyone's saying yes, I've finally gotten on with it. Zorp is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to, and the technical difficulties are resolved, says Frederick Schulz. Less technical difficulties and more me trying to wake up. More German. Oh, and it refreshed. We've got, there we go, Buck and Duck. Michael Bacana is joining us. He says, old school Grishnahk, now a useful Orc Captain model. I don't know about you. I haven't seen the new Grishnahk model in person. But I really love the old ones. Or the old one. I think there's actually only one old Grishnahk model. We worked this out on a top table stream. I always thought there was two, like arm up and arm down, but it's the same Grishnahk with an arm repose. But I really love the old one, so I'll have to have a look at the new one. I feel like it doesn't quite capture the character of the film, but it's still a very cool model, but just like the facial features aren't quite the same as the old school Grishnahk. So, but they're still, yeah, the armor detailing is insane on the new one, to be fair. When I was looking at some photos of the Weta model, which I used in the thumbnail for this video, I was like, oh man, that looks so much like the new Grishnahk looks so much like that. So they've done some amazing work with the armor. Brando Ridge is tuning in from Texas. Welcome, Brando. Thank you for joining us. We've got Odiodi, good evening, actually painting the Orc Grishnahk himself, along with 24 Mordor Orcs. Odiodi is, of course, famous for his wonderful work with the Easterling Cataphracts. There's been a couple of guys doing the Easterling Cataphract horses for Rohan Royal Guard on the Zorpazorp Facebook page. One of them is Odiodi, and the other one escapes my name at the moment, but he did just post an update with his stunning ones. Who was it? Was it Tim? Oh, I can't remember. Yes, I fell in love with that idea when I first saw someone do it about 2 years ago. Since then, I've been meaning to do it, and I've got a tournament coming up in December, which Rohan is coming back for. I'm so excited. I want to talk about it, but I've got to save it for a video. I obviously, right, I said I wouldn't get into this, but I'm going to get into it. So Riders of Theoden, right, it's been pretty heavily affected by Gamling's nerf to the banner, losing all the might points. And I haven't really publicly responded to that. I haven't made a video about that. And as I think I can certainly claim part responsibility for that, for increasing the popularity of the Legion with all my videos banging on about how ridiculously powerful the Legion is. So maybe like a small percentage of that is my fault. And whether or not, you know, so I've never like full-on responded in a proper video about it. So I am going to do that soon in the preparation to this next tournament, because I think I've discovered the new Rohan meta, like 100% by accident. It took like breaking a pattern of thinking, and Riders of Theoden did that. It broke my thinking pattern about the way I used to write Rohan lists. And then when Jay took my magical banner away from me and I was forced to adapt, I have come up with, in no small part to Tom Ward, a mate of mine, we have come up with some filth, and I'm so excited by it. So that's going to be coming up in a video soon. But the reason I'm talking about this, I think, why did I segue to this? Oh yeah, the real rides for Rohan. I've managed to secure, I've got 7 metal Easterlings over there. I've got another 5 on the way, and then another 10 on the way. So what's that, 15? So I almost have 22 metal Easterling horses that I'm going to be able to swap out for my Royal Guard and for my Khandish chariots. So I'm bloody excited about that. That's working towards my Wayne Riders army, which will be my 2035 army by the time that gets all painted. So yeah, ooh, exciting time, Odie, for metal Easterlings. So I'm going to do a big like modeling video building towards that, which is going to get no views because no one watches those, but I don't care because I want to make it. Last stream was cool, says Frederick. Didn't catch anything live, but the Dunland was awesome. Yeah, Ryan's Dunland were amazing. I actually have them sitting over there, his full Dunland army that we used in the last stream. He took it to the tournament. He won Player's Choice and Best Painted, and then he leaves the army behind, and now it's mine forever. Luckily, he lives 2 minutes down the road, so we'll get to him soon. Francesco says, good evening, Lucky. KS says, may the best Ugluck win. Yeah, Ugluck's going to have a big punch on. It's going to be interesting. In the scenario, which we'll go through in a bit, like, half of Ugluck's forces are, like, asleep, and Grishnahk's got to, like, stealth in. It's very cool. Natan says, hello, Robbie Taylor joining us from Bedford in the UK. Papa Zulu says, does contrast paint work on grey hair, or is it preferable to use the older black paints? I use contrast for grey hair all the time. For Gandalf recently, if you go back to the Gandalf live stream, I did his grey hair with some contrast paint. I think I just did Basilicanum grey and then a highlight over a light grey prime. Renga says, the tournament game was great, more please. Yeah, I think we got to do more like it. Frank Kalaweski said the tourney was grand. Major Eyeswater says, hi Lockie from the UK but currently in Spain, so hello from both. Fantastic. Michael Montgomery's in Spain as well. Jill Monroe, hello again from Scotland. Missed the last few, says Jill, but looking forward to tonight. Marky Tribe says, what's up, bro? Shitstormbringer says, hi. Getting hot in New Zealand, says Michael, but rainy, so nice and warm. Yeah. What do you guys, what's humidity like? Michael, you're in Wellington or are you up north in Auckland? I think you're in Auckland, aren't you, Michael? I'm obviously hoping to move to South Island, so very different climate. Anyone from the South Island watching? I don't think so. There's not many South Island people. When I go there, I'll have to I'm sorry, George. All the Christchurch people. There's not much Lord of the Rings action in Queenstown, where I want to move. So I'll have to, build the community when I get there, which will be fun. Weetabix says, finally managing to catch you live in the UK, London. Sam says, only 32. On average, we get around 7. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Michael says he can't wait to watch the rest tomorrow. Niall's joining us. Hey, Niall, how you going? Nathan's watching from Poland. James wouldn't mind 32 degrees right now. What temperature is it where you are, James? Man, I'm so behind if you guys are still talking about temperature. Jazzy says it's definitely tough, mate, but loving the hot weather. Yeah, we were pumping the aircon now. It's happening. Thu is watching from Denmark. Marius from South Africa. That's such a great South African name. Marius. I love it. Papa Zulu from France. Fantastic. Harry is watching from the Whitsundays. I'm not sure if you're taking the piss, Harry, or are you actually in the Whitsundays? I thought you were still in Darwin, or are you working your way down to Brisbane on your break? Michael Sawinski says, just repairing Grishnahk today. Good luck with painting him. I wish I could see that. Sounds like an awesome build, says Aaron. Yeah, it's going to be very cool. Darren's just joining in. He says late, but don't worry. I've been just like waffling this morning, so you haven't missed much at all. Both Grishnahk models are great, says Frederick. Good to know. The new Grishnahk is pretty cool. Declan's into it. No pajamas today. What's the special occasion, says Harry. I didn't even know there was a new one, says KS. Yeah, it came out, what, 6 months ago, guys, maybe? Yeah, Frederick says, I think I accidentally rotated Grishnahk's right arm by 90 degrees, but the model still works. The arm is really nice, and the face looks better than when I expected in person. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the, like, Forge World photo shoots / paint schemes, but the models look so different when you get them. Aomer, right? Big, chubby Aomer, who looks, like, bulky, right? And too short and everything. I haven't put him together yet, but I've got the model. I opened it up and I was like, this guy looks sick. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes together on proportions. Same thing happened with like Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. I did not like the look of them that much, the plastics. And then I got them and I was like, these are amazing. At least Aragorn's good, Gimli is phenomenal, and Legolas is not bad. They've got some hard competition with all the incredible old sculpts, of course. Jack says, hey man, first stream, just getting into the game, painting Birder. Good choice. Angmar is life, Jackie boy. My go-to evil army of choice. GW Grenoble says, can you make one of those tutorials about Rohirrim Riders conversion? Oh, now, actually, I've already done that. I did a whole video on converting Riders to Rohan. I'm also going to do like an updated version on that, updating my Rohan Royal Guard. I didn't even say that sentence properly. I've done a video converting Riders to Royal Guard, and I'll be doing another video turning my Royal Guard into like Super Royal Guard, Super Saiyan Royal Guard. And I've also done... Have we already done how to paint Riders of Rohan? We have. That was like episode 15. So if you go back to the live stream, that should already be on there. Raymond's watching from France. Stephen Fay is watching up, painting up some Lothlorien with blue cloaks. Very nice. Simon says Ryan left it behind for you to give away. I don't think he'll be happy about that. Is Arkluk working on the menu in this scenario? Definitely, definitely. Momon is watching from Vienna. Stephen from Ireland. We've got Tetons painting up first Moran and Orcs. Fantastic. Harry says South Island sucks. No, it doesn't. Oh, scucks. I think that's like Australian bogan speak for good. Yes. South Island is... I was like, Harry, why do you hate South Island? You love skiing. What are you talking about? I'm boarding. Where are we? I'm in Auckland. Yeah, I thought so, Michael. He says the community's absolutely awful. Awesome. Won't be moving to Auckland then. Decision made. Ryan's watching live from the Prancing Pony. It's pretty dead here. Englishman in Minsk, Belarus, says Matty Roberts. Nathan's watching from Maine in the USA. Ryan says there's some weird dude in the corner staring at me with his pipe. And Tim Hazelkamp is working on 15 Rivendell Knights. Another excellent choice. So, before we dive into today... Well, now, also, if this is your first stream and you have no idea what the hell's going on, I forgot to do this little spiel. This is the Battle Games of Middle-earth live stream series where we go through one of these old retro lovely magazines from the early 2000s. Alongside each magazine there was like a release of models for that fortnight that you would paint up and then play within some games. So in each installment of this live stream we go through the magazine, we paint up the models and we play a game with them, and we play a live stream battle report where you guys get to yell at me in the chat. I let you control some models. If you do a good enough job I pay attention. And we do this kind of every Monday my time or Sunday night rest of the world, and it is good fun. So just some thoughts moving forward. What do we got on the horizon for the channel? Obviously I've got a little tournament coming up, so we're working towards Rohan. I'm currently editing the second Star Wars battle report finally, and I want to film the third one really quickly and get that out so we can pump a bit more Star Wars Legion in a row instead of massive gaps. But like, I find I've got three systems, right? We're always covering 40k, Star Wars Legion, and Middle-earth. And I find I'm always really motivated about one, quite enjoying one, and not interested in the other at any one given time. So recently I was like all about 40k because 9th edition had dropped, and I was like enjoying Middle-earth and not really focusing on Star Wars Legion because it was on the back burner. And then recently I played some games with 40k, had some great time with it, and then the Lord of the Rings tournament came up, and that like jumped to the fore. And now I had a great time with the last tournament, and we've got another tournament in a month. The community's back up and pumping. We're having games because we're really lucky, and COVID's doing awesome in Australia. We have no population density. It's fantastic. And so we had like a 40-person tournament the other day. It was phenomenal. We still had all our, well, it wasn't a normal tournament by any means. We had to bring in all these sort of, the venue had a COVID plan, but then I brought in extra stuff as a TO. We had hand sanitizer all over the tables. No one was allowed to touch each other's models. You weren't allowed to, everyone had to have their own dice box and roll into the dice box so that their dice didn't touch. Like, just limit any way that you could touch each other. And then obviously, no one with symptoms was allowed in. That was like a venue rule. So yeah, I think at Hope it seems to have gone down really well and had no problems. But Queensland's very safe. We haven't had a case for like a month or something, I think. So yeah, it's pepped me up, and I'm like amped for Lord of the Rings. So, and because I'm editing Star Wars, that's like the second system I'm working on at the moment, and 40k is like a bit on the back burner. So they rotate. So yeah, it's all about Lord of the Rings in my mind right now. Like every night, I'm like writing lists and getting amped. We've got an 800-point tournament coming up where you have to take 400 points of heroes, and then there's a 900-point doubles event in January that's like 450 per side. So I'm trying to like think of like cool stuff to take to that. So I'm gonna have an army vlog coming up soon, or maybe like army and display board for my Rohan army. I have the option, I really want to get the display board done for my Riders of Theoden, because I never did that. But now that this new version of Rohan is like making me fall in love with it, I might have to do a display board for that. So we'll have like a video on that, hopefully, if I get time. And then of course, Quest of the Ring Bearer just like totally ruined my schedule. It came out earlier than it was intended. And so, even though I'm somewhat aware of when stuff might come out, at least, for the very short term, because I signed my NDA and Games Workshop send me stuff like 2 weeks notice. Never arrives, but I get an email saying we've sent it to you, and then it arrives like a week after everyone else has it most of the time, but it's been better lately, which is good. It came out of nowhere, basically. I thought it was going to be delayed way longer. That was my guess, because of COVID. And it was like, boom. And so I had to make some videos on that, and that just like ruined the Minas Tirith production plan. So Minas Tirith is back. As soon as this Star Wars video is done, it's into Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith is the big Lord of the Rings project at the moment. So we've got another video coming out early December, where I finish off the walls, do a big update. I want to showcase everyone's projects, because there's so many people all around the world who've been building stuff and posting it to us, which is mental. So yeah, it's just so cool. It's getting really big. And then I'll have another video, hopefully mid-December, where I start to focus on like the houses and the buildings, or the gatehouse or something. Take it to the next step, where I'll hopefully be bringing in some special guests. We'll see if we can line that up. I'm so excited. I'm just like amped, so amped for Minas Tirith. And then yeah, through January and February we can start to get it finished and get it into some battle reports. So if you guys are still keen to be part of that, and want to build houses or build wall sections and post them down to contribute to the project, just let me know. Just post on the Facebook group or whatever, because we're gonna need a lot of houses. So even one small house is a big contribution. We're gonna have to have a lot of buildings, and all those templates are already up. You can do them in A4 or A3. So that is a little update. I really just want to start talking about my army, but I've got to save that for the video. But man, the new Rohan meta, it's going to be cool. So, what are we doing today? Today we're doing Grishnahk, sick battle report. There's some cool stuff to dive into. So I'll just check in the chat, and then we will... Actually, no, tell you what I'll do is I'll swing the camera around now, and we'll get cracking. We'll have a look at Grishnahk, who I've actually already base coated, because I'm a little bit more organized. Had some time last night, put down some quick base coats. Some clean-up base coats, really, because it was like a semi-started painted model that I found from my collection that I might have started painting 5 years ago, or it might be someone else's paint job. But we're going to clean that up, and then touch it up and make it sexy and beautiful, because the base coats weren't thick or anything. So I was like, why would I strip this, prime this, and redo it? It's basically fine. Cool. Someone is asking about cameras. Let's find out who that was. It was Michael. Let's zoom up to Michael's question. You can see someone answering his question about cameras. Cameras, bucket up. Okay, here we go. Lockie, just a quick question. Looking to buy a new camera for filming. Any recommendations for a sort of mid-range? Yes. Sony a6400 is so good. Aaron has made some great suggestions with the a7 III or the a7S II, but they're very expensive for mid-range. The a6400 was $1,000 Australian, and I don't think it's that much more in New Zealand. It's what we're shooting on right now. The rolling shutter is terrible. That's the only thing that's dodgy about it. So when you pan, you get a bit of like shutter. So if you move the camera quickly, it goes a bit wobbly. So as long as you're using a static shot, or you've seen my battle reports that are shot on a stabilizer, like I don't pan too quickly, and it's fine. So the a6400 is excellent. The autofocus is amazing. It was blowing Canon out of the water until they brought out their new like 8K camera the other day. It's so cheap. It's great for live streaming because there's a clean HDMI out with no record limit. It just does everything I wanted to do for so cheap. Sony glass is a little bit more expensive, but you can get knockoff glass, like, just cheaper brands. I just buy Sony glass because I want the autofocus to work perfectly, and Sony glass is made by Zeiss, which is amazing. Now, I've probably just bored everyone else in the chat, but there you go. That's my suggestion of research that I did a year ago, and I haven't looked at cameras since. So maybe there's something better out now. But that is my idea. James Hogg says, Canon for video, dual pixel autofocus, all you will need. The old dual pixel autofocus isn't great for like battle reports. That's my only sort of feedback. The new Canon stuff is pretty cool though. And I sort of miss Canon because like the color science was just beautiful. It's so pretty. Sony doesn't look quite as nice, but it's a workhorse, does what I need to do. Cool, alright, I am going to swing you guys over to the holding screen. And I'm going to go and chuck this camera over on the desk. We are going to start painting a Grishnahk. Back soon. Right, there we go. I'm back. Sorry, lads. That was a longer delay than I intended. Alrighty-o. Grishnahk, the champion of Mordor. So, this is magazine 17. Where are my glasses? There they are. This is magazine 17. But we have like skipped ahead a few times and done some crazy stuff. So I think this is our 21st stream, and we're going to sort of rapidly plow ahead. Let me know now that I've changed setup if you guys can see me and everything. Let's get this brightness on my phone so I can actually see. Yes, that looks nice. So let's have a look at what we've got. Looks like I've got sound and you guys should be able to see. Let's plow ahead. Grishnahk was dispatched from Mordor to take possession of the hobbits, Merry and Pippin from Saruman's Urukai. Vicious and sneaky, his thoughts soon wander from his instructions and turn to murder. He's a spicy little dude. Look at his like outfit. It's savage, man. It's so savage. All the like cool armor plates and obviously heaps of fur. So here's our little Grishnahk that we have so far, with like the arm raised position. And as you can see, there's like just some base coats down, some basic base coats. Need to get my blotting cloth. In this book, the next thing, there's like an idea on how to make your own scenarios, because of course back in the day, this was not a matched play game in 2001. All you played were scenarios, or just like, you know, inventing stuff yourself. There wasn't points per se. I think the models did start to come out with points, but perhaps not even this early. I think it's about halfway through B Gimme, which is pretty crazy to think. There's some information on balancing your forces. We've got, oh, here we go. So we can start to see points values. So that they've brought it in. What are we in now? Yeah, we're in issue 20 now. So that checks out. That makes sense. Because they started to bring that in alongside Two Towers, I think, which is when this started to come out. So they've got, like, you know, costs for Men of Gondor and Elves and comparing those. Back in this day, of course, Elves were like fight 6. So there's lots of differences here in terms of the points values. And then we have our scenario that we're going to be playing later on, which is a Thief in the Night. So let's have a read through now. A little preview of our scenario. Ugluk wants to get his captive hobbits to Saruman immediately. He drives a relentless pace across Rohan, but the exhausted orcs of Mordor insist on stopping to rest. This is when Grishnahk hatches an evil plan to steal the halflings away. The tension and rivalry between the Mordor orcs and the Urukai has been growing ever since they joined forces, and Uruk's disdain for the orcs has become obvious. Even with many of the Urukai dead at Armon Hen and the remaining members of the Fellowship pursuing them, Ugluk is confident that the Uruks are more than a match for Grishnahk's orcs. Ugluk continues to bully and harass the orcs into doing all the menial tasks such as guard duty and gathering wood for the campfires. Grishnahk plans to sneak the hobbits out of the camp late at night while most of the Uruks are resting and his orcs are on guard duty. Once free of the camp, he can eat the halflings or even take them back to his master in Mordor. If the Urukai can spot Grishnahk and raise the alarm, his troops will have to show the upstart Uruks just how deadly orcs can be. So it's evil versus evil. We've got what are we using? I think it's Grishnahk and 12 Uruks and Grishnahk and Ugluk and 12 orcs. And we have like a little campfire. I'll go in on 35 so you guys can see. There's like a little camp in the middle, and half the Uruks are asleep, and the others are like on guard duty, and Grishnahk's got to like sneak in and stuff. It's pretty crazy. It's going to be a fun little scenario. Very fun little scenario indeed. Grishnahk's got to pick up the hobbits. We won't be using the cards that were supplied. We'll have actual models, but they're still very cool. Very cool indeed. And then we've got some tactics for each faction, a little painting guide on Grishnahk, and I think that's it. Oh, and then like a really old school way to make trees for Fangorn Forest. But yeah, trees. Exciting stuff. So, and then next week is Aomer. Big decision for Aomer. I've got the new one over there, but I think we might actually use the old one, because I've got some pretty exciting plans for the new one, potentially. A nice little conversion. Aomer finding him into something else. Although, did you guys see that Made to Order just got announced finally, that it's coming back? It's like, it's not like a traditional Made to Order, it's just, they'll be up for as long as there is stock, which I think is basically just their way of getting the Made to Order done as fast as possible. Because they just don't have time to make any more. So they would have made a bunch in the lead up to when they initially announced it. But okay, so let's get in here and go into painting mode. switcheroony this guy to there. And then when I'm painting, you guys should be able to see quite nicely. Chaos says Ugluk is clearly the good side. Ugluk's the beast. We love Ugluk. How dark / light is that? That looks pretty good. Looks like you guys can see that. So, I've thrown down some base coats here. Or there were some base coats put down. Oh, I might get my blotting cloth actually and just dry off that model. So this is one of the fun things about like second-hand models and things, is often you're dealing with pre-painted. So usually I just strip everything, but the paint job that was down on this guy, the base coats, they were totally fine, basically. So I was like, well, we'll just go from there. And it's kind of fun. Half the work is done. All the boring work too. But I just had to wash off dust. That's how long this guy's been in my collection. So we can do some kind of like slightly more interesting stuff now, because we'll have a little bit of time. Because our base coat, our boring stuff is done. So we have got some scorched brown highlighted with bestial brown, I think, like our old Citadel browns. That's bolt gun metal for sure, the old silver. And that's been kind of placed everywhere. Let's have a look. Is that... Yeah, so that looks right. Looks like they've picked out the right parts. That's leather. So I think what we'll do is we'll work on the metallics first. Just to kind of get them really looking nice. At the moment, they're a bit too shiny. So I'm going to bring in my classic dark orc metal treatment. I'm going to put some typhus corrosion down onto it. Oh, my snakebite leather is sitting half open in the drawer. That's not great. So let's find typhus corrosion. You can see the level of organization is high today. Maybe digging through everything. Now, typhus corrosion separates like crazy, so make sure you guys do give it a really good shake. I'm going to get a beat up old brush as well for applying this. Oh, Goatmeat says, I just ordered the Battle of the Pelennor models. Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic set. So cost effective. I wish we had more. Imagine if we had, like, start collecting boxes for every faction or something. Jeez, that'd be awesome. So, typhus corrosion going down first. And what I'm going to do is basically just smush this. I'm going to sort of stipple it all over the silver. Letting that bright silver sort of pass through it. And occasionally leaving some of the silver showing. So I just want to filth it up, really. So it's a bit too bright. And then we'll come in and like re-edge highlight all of this. So stippling on that gritty texture of typhus corrosion, because it's like a textured paint, right? It's got grit and stuff through it, so we can let the silver really build it up. Yeah, the stippling's the way to go, because then you do get bright spots that are still untouched. Cool, that's looking good already. Just a nice, it pushes it back, makes it all filthy. Well, that's armor down there. Beautiful. What do I do with my blotting? Why did I put that over there? That's our typhus corrosion done. I'm going to let that fully dry, because I want the texture to be like really nice and dry and firm, so that I can dry brush it. So that's looking nice already. Oh, Jesus, drying quickly in this Australian heat. Yeah, that is like almost dry, actually. So let's grab some extra paints. What are we going to highlight that with? I'm going to grab my new favorite silver of all time, which is Canoptic Alloy. There's a bit of lead belcher, just in case we need it. But I think I'll stick with Canoptic Alloy. There she is. Michael says, I'm back. What have I missed? Very little. I've started painting. I'm waffling on this morning. I've missed you guys, so I'm chirping away and just having a chat. Alright, let's get a bit of this Canoptic Alloy, and I'm going to throw it down into the wet palette. Just so that I can easily pull from it and leave my paint sealed, not knock it off. Alright, so just going to come in with my really high quality fine detail brush. And I'm just going to pick out all the raised edges. I haven't done this with Canoptic Alloy before. I usually use Lead Belcher, so I'm interested to see if this is going to be too bright, which will be fine. We'll just tone it back with a big old wash. So you can see as I add this just how much definition it adds. Look at that armor plate, right? Before it was just flat silver. Now it's got lots of contrast into it, and that's a great way to get good-looking models really easily. It's if you're just trying to upskill your paint jobs and make stuff look more striking, just add more contrast. That's like your easiest go-to, whether that's by applying washes or darkening stuff and doing really contrasty edge highlights on things where that kind of feels right, like metallics. That's you know, being able to use contrast is like one of the most important tools in your miniature painting and any painting toolkit. Oh my god, this model is just to die for. I just love these old Perry sculpts, man. I love them so much. There's just something magical about them. Alright, hitting all these things. It's just, everything's small. I think that's what I like about it, is we're seeing with these new models that are coming out, they are slightly upscaling a bit. Whereas these, they're getting kind of a bit more true 28mm scale, whereas Lord of the Rings has always been like a little bit 25, 26mm. Picking off all the highlights, all the hard edges. Not that the new sculpts aren't great, they look stunning. Oh man, look at the metals just like come to life now. Just looks fantastic. Alright, let's do our... This brush is so dead, man. If any brush sponsors are watching, Synthetics please, hit me up. I'm so freaking sick of my crappy brushes. And everything's closed. Just need to actually buy some. I'm going to do the sword next. Sword's a great showcase point for it. Just get my hand on camera. Is that on 35? Yeah, good. Just hitting those hard edges, leaving that rusty fuller. You can put a little bit of that on the flat. I'm sometimes sort of dry brushing with the silver with this brush, just like letting it hit the texture that's showing, but not the full detail. Got a little bit of a metal guard here on the wrist. That's looking pretty good. I'm tempted to give that a wash as well. I think I will. We could go Agrax Earthshade to make it even dirtier, or we could go Nuln Oil just to sort of deepen it and make it really pop and leave the dirtiness that we've got from the metal. So I'll let you guys decide that one. Do you want to make this more dirty with a brown wash like Agrax Earthshade, or do you want to make it more contrasty and pop just by adding black into the shadows and toning down the brights with Nuln Oil? Chuck some votes in the chat and I'll throw down whichever one you guys prefer. Dirty armor or clean armor? Nuln Oil or... not clean, but sort of brighter. Less sepia kind of armor. I've got this plate here as well, which is going to be really nice to accent. Some lovely sharp details there. Beautiful. That's our silver. While I've got the silver out, I'm just going to check if I can see any little buckles or anything. I don't think I can. No, we're good. While you guys are deciding that wash in the chat, I'm just going to grab some brown. I'll just grab probably like, because there's already bases all over this, I'm just going to grab some dark flesh tone. And there's just a few, whoa, that was a lot of brown, but anyway, a few little regions that need a touch up. From sort of overspill of whoever applied some of the base coats. So I'm just going to go and tap those to get rid of the the silver overspill. Yeah, like in there, that's not metal, that's just flesh. Not flesh, cloth. That's cloth, so I'm just cleaning that up. I'm liking whoever's done this base coat, which could have been me, I honestly can't remember, has put some black straps in over all these browns, and I think that really works to make those pop. So we'll go for that mode as well. But we'll get all the browns to like a happy stage first. So just a bit of dark flesh tone there to leverage that all up. Good, that looks really nice. Dirty, 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 dirty. Alright, I think I'll use Nuln Oil. Agrax Earth Shade it is. You guys are going to regret that. I reckon Nuln Oil would have looked better. Last time I give you a job. No, this will look good, this will look good. Alright, give Agrax a good shake. You don't want all those gloss mediums to be sitting on the top. We're just going to give that a big old wash. The armor's going to get real dirty, but it's going to get more contrasty as well. Cool. While I've got it, yeah, honestly, while we're here, I'm actually going to wash all of the leather as well, just to start making all those details pop. This is almost a wash the entire model stage now, really. Let's get a bit of Agrax down to everything. Just with orcs, like, Agrax through everything just looks fantastic. Yeah, look at that. It's just popping like crazy now. On the sword. Got Agrax on there. Oh, he's looking pretty mint. So, Agrax all through that. Agrax all through that. Jeez, he's really coming to life. So obviously we've got skin tone. We've got to deal with the leathers. And the hair and the fur as well. Fur is probably a decent little piece that we can hit. So the person who's done this has done quite an old fur style that GW used to sort of promote, where you'd have like a few bright highlights in bone, just like to sort of really make it read. I used to see a lot of Grishnahks painted this way. In fact, you can even see it in the old Grishnahk here. They've just got like those couple of bone highlights amongst the brown. I don't really know what it's meant to be. Let's see if I can find another painted Grishnahk model with a better close-up. No, not really. But anyway, we're going to buy into it because I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to grab some bone. Where's my bone white? I'm just going to put a few more of those and sort of smooth out the ones that are there. Oh, he's got bone bits in his fur. Those bits are bone. Okay, well, these bits are clearly not meant to be them. Because I always see people highlight the back as well, so obviously they've taken the front image and translated it around. So these, if these are the little bits of bone... Oh yeah, I mean, I can see the little bones there. Totally. No, I know those bone bits are there. I'm talking about the back. See how this guy's got like bone highlighted on the back? I see this all the time with people's Grishnahks. Not really sure what the jam is. Are these meant to be bone? I don't know. I don't think they are. Unless they are meant to be bone. He's just got this huge fang. We'll roll with it. Let's just say it's all bones. That would make sense in hindsight. That people were highlighting bones with bone. I always thought it was some weird fur scheme. Yeah, look, I think those are definitely meant to be bones. Anyway, so I'm bringing in my bleached bone, and I'm just cleaning up and re-base coating all of these bits of bone. Honestly, even if this big thing isn't meant to be bone, I love it. It looks great. Let's make it a bone. Some more bone there. He's just like a bone collector. He loves them. What about the collar of his shirt? Is that bone? I don't know what that is. I don't think that's meant to be bone. It could be. It could be like a rib bone going all the way around, framing like a collar. There's nothing in the photo, so it wasn't in the costume. That looks like a designer's element that they've put in, but I think we'll leave that as like a matted fur piece. Just because less is more, right? So, is that bone in there? Yeah, we can call that bone as well. There we go. So we've got some highlights down on our little bony pieces. Some base coats, rather. That's all fur. Get that looking a little bit schmicker. Yes, dude, all bones. Screw it, paint the skin bone. Grishnahk is just a bone. Big bits of bone. Okay. Well, we're gonna do the collar. You guys want me to do the collarbone as well? Haha, collarbone. That's a real bone. Let's make it like a cool bone collar. That he's got a bit of you know, that's how it's been built, right? He's stitched the fur all the way around it. I like that. I buy that. That looks pretty cool. That's all cloth. That's all cloth. That's bone. That's bone. Okay, sweet. So we'll do our classic bone treatment now. Or I'll grab some skeleton horde contrast and just hit those with that. So I just... Oh my god, it was the first paint I picked up. I'm so good at doing that on stream. Other real bones include the femur. Oh, that's... There you go. What a helpful piece of information from GBHL Damien. Do you know any other real bones, Damien? If you could just keep us updated through the rest of the chat with any other real bones that you know, that will be handy. That's a battle-worn brush you're using. Oh my god, tell me about it. This brush is on its last legs here. Yeah, well, it's not a Zorpazorp stream if I'm painting with a quality brush. It needs to be absolute trash. I'm a man of the people. I paint with what you guys have at home. So just filtering this bleached bone with some skeleton horde to give it that little bony mid-tone. Just knocks it back a bit, blends it a little, makes it look sexy, and then we can highlight it really nicely with a little bit of bone white again. Cool. I do like it, much brighter, so that's not going to be where we leave that. We'll definitely layer that up. Oh, I've knocked over my lead belcher. Alright, just let's see. The Agrax is still drying, so I'll let that dry for a sec. Alkaline Trio have a song called Clavicle. Clavicle, yep. Thigh bone. Other Alkaline Trio songs include Private Eye. This is fantastic. Incredibly topical commentary, Damon. Definitely relevant. Cool, he's looking sick, hey? I love this sculpt. So, what we want to do now... I'll do the flesh tone last. Let's just get all this... Oh, let's keep working on the fur. So, the fur's in a bit of a state. It's not a whole lot happening for it. So... It's just a dark blacky brown at the moment. I think it's mostly... It's blacks and browns. So... Let's come in with like a brown and a grey highlight. We'll do it sort of patchy. So let's grab... Yeah, I'll just grab some charred brown for starters. And I'm just going to apply that probably as a... like an overbrush. Yep, that'll work nicely. So, going to overbrush slightly with charred brown. Just in a few regions, and I'm using this to sort of clean up any chips as well. And the paint's flaked away. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then I think I'll come in with a bit of grey. But I want... Oh, you know what I want? I want Storm Vermin Fur. That's what I want. Look at that! Picks it up straight away. There we go. Just a little bit of storm vermin fur, just to pick out some of the raised details. And I don't mind if the storm vermin fur is too light, because I'll probably just give this all a wash in Basilicanum Grey, just to darken it up and deepen the shadows and stuff. Make sure you pay attention with your highlights to all the little bits of fur around the collar, so that they blend with the big bit. And don't forget all the fur that comes down the side here. Cool, that's looking pretty good. I definitely want to deepen that and make it quite black, but we've got the right tones in there. So I think I'll just throw Basilicanum Grey over the top of all of that, which I sort of use Basilicanum Grey like super Nuln Oil. I'm on fire. That is like 4 from 4, just pulling it out within 1 to 2 pots. Johnny Mitro says, just slap a bunch of Agrax on there. We already did that. We can't make it all slapped Agrax, or the model will all look the same. Alright, so on comes a bit of Basilicanum Grey. Just to darken up the fur a bit. Make it sort of all black and homogeneous over the top of those nice little subtle tonings we just put down. Sexy, really sexy. Coming along nicely. I love starting stuff already base coated. I get to like really fiddle with it. Okay. Let's finish off our bone now. That skeleton horde should be pretty dry. I've got quite like a thin layer of bone white now. Like I'm sort of pulling it into a thin pass on my wet palette, just so I can apply it really broadly and it will blend quite nicely. Try and apply it more heavily towards the tips to create that sort of gentle gradient. And if you only remember that you should be doing that after you've done some, just bring your brush back on, wet, and just pull it away. There we go. A nice bright bits of bone. Alright, look at him, he's really popping. Okay, so do we like the metal? Yes, we love the metal. The Agrax worked a treat. The leather's looking solid, the fur's looking solid. What we might do now is go into our black strapping. I'm just going to grab... You know what, I won't grab a bad and black. I'll grab Black Templar. Look at this, guys. This is... What a sad day. Big spill of Flesh Terror's red. Oh, that was tough, that was tough. What am I looking for? Black Templar, right. Oh, so close. Dark Angel's green. Come on. Yes! Got it on the second one. Peter says, I'm stuck on the highway and watching your live stream waiting for help on the flat tire. Dude, that sucks, man. I hope help is on the way. Safe travels. That's awful. Breaking down or flat tires, that's always just so sucky. Alright, so Black Templar contrast coming in now. And what I want to do is just like pick out straps. Just to create cool points of contrast. Over the brown. So it's like, you know, we might have big brown patches of leather, but if we make all the strapping black, it just sort of helps break it up a little bit. Especially on like these arm pieces. Just gotta be careful when you're picking out thin details with the contrast, because of course it just wants to run. And you got to be like, no contrast, come back. Can you guys see? Not really. I'm going to pan off a bit. I keep doing that. I seem to be naturally wanting to paint here. So hopefully if I do that, now you guys will see better. Alright, Black Templar on these little arm straps. Of course, the benefit of using Templar is that you get a bit of that natural contrast built in, so it's less work you have to do. Cool, looks good on the arm straps. Looks alright on the leg straps. Yeah, it's looking real good. I might pick out some of these little square plates on this leather torso. Same here. Make that nice and dark. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go into some highlights on his skin now. Gonna grab some gory red, I think, for a little pass on that. I might grab gory and bloody red because I'm gonna want a second stage highlight for his face. Alright, a little bit of gory red going down. No, that was bloody red. I lied to you. Please accept my apologies. Now gory red. Alright, so I'm going to grab some gory red. And we're just going to... just want to make that skin a little bit redder, so I'm just going to bring it in. Because adding these red tones, it just sort of helps shift it away from the really brown leather. Is Grishnahk wearing pants? I don't know. He's not anymore. So a bit of bloody red first. Sorry, gory red first, and then just grab a little bit of bloody red to do those muscle tone highlights. Just our classic blocky red orc skin scheme. Nothing particularly complicated. Back to bloody red. Okay, so there's already been a fair bit done on his face. Just adding bloody red in over the red that's over the browny color that's there. It's probably taking him a bit too red. There was like a fleshy red already down on him. Might pull that back a little bit actually. Alright, that's not too bad. Just sort of thinned that gory red out just to make it a little bit of a wash basically. And we'll see if I might need to mix a bit of flesh tone into this bloody red before we use it as a highlight. Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's cool though. Basically, I've just put a red wash on the skin. Let's grab Kislev flesh. Just gonna grab a tiny bit of this and mix it in with my bloody red. Just to make it kind of fleshy, reddy pink highlight color. Just to kind of pick out some details on his face. But this is pretty bright, so I've got to be subtle with this. In fact, I might darken it a bit. Just hitting that jawline, cheekbone, the ears. Now we want to make some brow lines. That's looking good now. Bit of real definition in the face. Oh, holding my back in a weird position to paint that. Oliver says, Forge Well Grishnahk next, right? No, not quite. I wish, but unfortunately I don't have the Forge Well Grishnahk model. Just bringing this fleshy highlighter mixed in and pushing it into the other skin tone as well. Just to give that a little bit of tie-in. There we go. Jeez, he's looking awesome. It's looking really solid. So the skin needs another wash now, just to give it a bit more shadow. So normally I'd go for Ryclon Flesh Shade, but it's not going to give me much pop because of the fact that the skin is so red. So I think I'm actually just going to put some Null Oil down. We'll have a little look at how that reads. There we go, a bit of Null Oil, that looks solid. Just wipe the excess off on that tabard. Cool, Null Oil down. It's literally eyes, guys, and we are finished. We slaughtered him today. Imagine how much having base coats increases the speed. This sculpt needs his grey hair. Yeah, that's true, actually. This sculpt doesn't really have his hair that much, does it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's tucked under his armored collar in this particular sculpt. So you can't really, come on focus, you can't really see his hair there. But he's looking good. We just got to wait for that that Null Oil to dry, and we can pop in our eyes. I just don't want it to run. I'm going to come and hang out in the chat, see what you guys have been talking about. Steven says, how do you loop the music? Is there a program or do you have it queued up? You know, it just loops in my streaming software. There's just a little loop option, and it just keeps on going. Is it still going? Yes, it's still on loop. Good, good. It's just like a 20-minute mix of different tracks I had from ages ago. Johnny said, would you call me mad if I painted the Infinity Gauntlet on Sauron? Yeah, he is kind of an evil villain of that nature. I think it works. Michael says, why on earth do you want a highway to Warsaw on Sunday at this hour? Yes, good question. Be safe, Peter. Be safe. Grishnahk the Orcupine looks sick. Yeah, it is a bit like that. He is a bit like... It's covered in so much spiky hair and bone. Michael says, I think Lockie needs to work harder on this off-topic conversation tangent malarkey. I'm not quite as off-topic as... I don't know, I probably go a bit off-topic, but I don't think I can master the GBHL level of off-topic. Oh, okay, cool. Oliver says, looking at pics online, the bit around the neck is a leather collar. Well, now it's a very light bone-coloured leather collar, so there we go. Phalanges, yep, that's a good bone. I like that. That's a good set of bones, Darren. Excellent work. Alright, what are we all painting along? Is anyone painting some stuff along with the stream today? We can't all be breaking down on the way to Warsaw. Alright, that should be dry enough now to do our eyes. This is where you all get to watch me struggle and laugh. Alright, I got white paint. That's our start. Alright, eyeball time. We want one little eyeball on Grishnahk. Ah, damn it. Got it on the lid. Well, I'm just going to go all in now, make sure it's actually on the eyeball, and then I'll clean up the lid. Ah, frustrating. Alright, next one. Horrendous attempt. Take two. Using too much paint, I think. Alright, let's try again. Alright, the eyes are done now. Man, the eyes are very thin, and this brush is very cooked. I'll grab some of, I don't know, some of something. And we will get in there and just clean up all around the eyes. Just cleaning up the lips of the eyes. Brilliant. They'll need a bit more cleanup work or whatever. Here, I'll use some gory red. Cool, we now have whites. We have whites in the eyes, as you guys can see, and then I just need to grab some Abaddon black and do a very painful... I tell you who was a great eye to paint? That dragon I painted in my last video. That was an awesome size eye. I'm only going to paint dragons from now on. I thoroughly enjoyed painting that huge eye. Alright. Trying to get my brush to form a point. And we just want one little dot in the middle. Oh, success on the right eye. And success on the left. There we go. Don't know how well that will read on camera, but we've got 2 whites and 2 pupils. Let me have a look up close. Yeah, they're not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we just need a little wash on those now. Just to matte them back. So now I will use Rifle and Flesh Shade, because it gives the whites of the eyes a little bit of red. Awesome, the big bits on his back are bone. Fantastic. Oliver had a look at the 360 model view on Forge World. That's a good idea. Beautiful. And that has blended his eyes nicely. Look at that. What a sexy little Grishnahk we have. So, Grishnahk is ready to take to the field against some orcs. He's got Ugluk. He's leading his 12 lovely little... orcs, Mordor orcs, and he's fighting Ugluk and Damien O'Byrne's wonderful 12 Urukai. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to swing over these paints to the other side of the desk, whip up our battle report, and while I'm away, I want you guys to be screaming in the chat who you want to be in charge of, who you want to be voting for, and let's dive into our wonderful battle report for this episode of Battle Games in Middle-earth. Alrighty, we are back. So, this is our battlefield for today. Let me just grab the chat so I can see you guys there. And this is our scenario. So, we have our Orc camp in the center with Grishnahk. He is currently awake. Ugluk and 5 Urukai are asleep in the middle of the camp. And then we have 4 Orcs. Whoops, that's meant to be 4. 4 Orcs on camp who are also asleep, and those guys aren't going to get raised until the alarm is raised. Then we have a bunch of Urukai. There are the other 5 strewn about the place. They have to be 12 inches apart from each other, and they are on sentry duty. And then we have all the other Orcs, which just have to be 6 inches apart from each other. So, Grishnahk, he starts in the middle of the board. He's carrying the hobbits as he moves through the night. They are bound hand and foot, so they may not move themselves. While carrying the hobbits, a model may only make half move. We suggest that you use either the figure of Merry or Pippin to keep a token of who's controlling them. That's a good idea, actually. Let's pop down our little hobbit model next to Grishnahk so that we can track that he has it. No resting models may be moved by either player until the alarm has been raised. No model may charge another model until the alarm is raised. Until the alarm is raised, all the guards, both Orc and Urukai, are moved by the player who has priority. So whoever has priority moves all of the guards, and in normal priority order. Grishnahk is always moved by the Orc player, but in normal priority order. If the alarm is raised the alarm is raised if at the end of any turn, I can't read today, Grishnahk is within 6 inches of an Urukai guard. On the turn after the alarm is raised, all those Orcs and Uruks will resting wake up and may move as normal. Remember that a model must use half its movement to stand up. So the waking Uruks don't wake that turn, they wake the following turn. Once the game is raised, once the alarm is raised, the game is played using all the normal rules until one side is won. If Grishnahk is killed, the model that killed him picks up the hobbits and moves on. So, Grishnahk's goal, or any of the Orcs' goal, is to get to the Fangorn board edge whilst carrying the hobbit. So there's our Fangorn board edge with all the trees. If the Orc leaves any other board edge with Merry and Pippin, then the Orc player wins. Okay, if an Orc leaves by any other board edge with Merry or Pippin, the Orc player wins. If an Urukai returns the hobbits to the campfire at the center of the board, the Urukai player wins. If Grishnahk or any other Orc leaves the board... Okay, this makes no sense. Listen to this, guys. This doesn't make any sense. If Grishnahk or any other Orc leaves the board by the Fangorn forest table edge while carrying the 2 hobbits, the game is a draw. But if an Orc leaves the board with Merry and Pippin, I think that's meant to be the other way around. So, if Grishnahk gets it off the board, it's a win. If any Orc gets it off, it's a draw. And if they return it back, it's a victory. Got it. Alright, that is extremely confusing, but we're there. Grishnahk's in the middle. He's got to get the hobbits off the Fangorn board edge. He can't get near the Urukai, and the Orcs are doing a bit of mischief to try and stop that. So, it's only the Urukai that matter. So, let's have a look. Has the music stopped? Has it? No, it shouldn't have. It may have stopped while you guys were on hold, though. Yep, Rengu Kataberg says, only an hour and a half in and we're already at the battle stage. Those base codes did help. Yeah, big time. Big time. Scout with bow number 3, says KS. Jazzy's keen to be in charge of Ugluk, as usual. Renga's keen for Ugluk in the team. Maxi wants to be in charge of the well. Michael, Ugluk. We've got lots of people for from Ugluk. Commonwealth Gamer says he'd like to be in charge of the Dwarfs of Balin's colony to reclaim Khazad-dûm from the Goblin King. Unfortunately, they're just off the board edge, so they don't have much of a gameplay this turn. Alright, let's get cracking, boys. We want to jump on in and smash through. So, Uruks are really people after 2 years of COVID. I'll be alert, says James Palmer, hashtag too soon. Alright, let's do priority. We've got Isengard dice for the Uruks and Rohan dice for the Orcs. And priority goes... Oh, it's a tie! An ill omen. And it's 5. Priority goes to the Urukai. So, the sentries move as normal, but only by the controlling player. So, all of the Uruks are just going to charge in 6 inches. And of course, the Uruk player being in control is just going to run the orcs away 6 inches. Because we know that they're going to be up to some mischief. Dude, the first priority is a bad one for Ugluk to lose, hey? Oh no, that's an Urukai. No charges may be made, so there's no fighting. It's literally just moving at this point. 6 inches. Come here, Tomluk. 6 inches, and 6 inches for you, Mr. Orc. And that guy hasn't moved in, so 6 inches. Alright. Grishnahk's turn. He has found himself almost surrounded by Urukai. So what he is going to do, he can only... Is it Grishnahk carrying the hobbits? While carrying the hobbits, a model may only make half a move. So Grishnahk can move 3 inches to get himself out of 6. So he's not going. The alarm's not going to be raised this turn. Battle games in Middle Earth. Hey! No early starts for you tomorrow, Harry. Fantastic. Well, you're joining, you're thick in the action. Grishnahk has just grabbed the hobbits from the campfire and is sprinting away. That's the end of turn 1. Let's do turn number 2. Grishnahk absolutely needs to win this priority, or it's like probably game over already. Not game over, but the alarm's going to go off. Oh, he does. Okay, so Grishnahk, the orc player, has priority now. So, what we're going to do is we are going to... Let's piss off these 2 Urukai as far as we can. 6 inches this way. The problem, of course, is that I need to 6 inches that way. Alright. I can't get within 6 inches there, so essentially all Grishnahk's managed to do is get back to the middle of the bonfire now, which is not a good outcome. This orc's going to get back up here. We've got to start bringing the orc boys back in. We're going to nick off this Urukai. Well, basically, everyone's just, like, trading places now. Get these Uruks way out the back. Get out of here, Tomluk. You're not wanted. 6 inches for that orc. 6 inches for that orc. And there we go. So Grishnahk's back in the middle. We've managed to peel away the orcs. Grishnahk's done his move. It's another turn of priority. Ooh, it goes back to the Uruks. Okay, so this is probably... very bad for the orcs. Did I just double move that Urukai? I think I did. I think I did double move Malcolm Luck. Yeah, he 100% should have been there. So he just got absolutely double moved. Don't forget to use Tom Look to protect Charlook, says GBHL podcast. Jody says, just seen the dragon from your last tutorial in your model case. It's huge. Didn't look that size. Can you see my model case in this, can you? Oh yeah. Oh, here you go. I can whip it out. Boom. That's how big the dragon is compared to Urukai. It's a pretty sizable model, hey? Absolutely massive. So if any of you guys with a 3D printer want to get that one, make sure you check out Danny's Kickstarter. The link is in the description of the dragon video. Alright, let's do the Urukai movement. So this is massive. I think the alarm's going to be raised here, guys. It's going to be wild. The Uruks can fence Grishnahk in, and with his half move, I tell you what, I'm going to grab my my movement sword, so I'm stop opening and closing these bloody tape measures. Movement sword, where did you go? There it is. 6 inches, perfect. Glamdring is what we want. This is going to make things easier. Right, Orc gone. Orc gone. Tauriel looks sprinting in. Yeah, we've got Grishnahk in a 3-point trap here, basically. The Orcs are nicking off. Moving the Orcs too far there. Hamlock is sprinting in. Orcs nick off. I gotta say, I'm excited for some combats because I'm sick of moving all of these guys. That was too far. Tomluk. Alright. And this Orc. That is everybody moved except Grishnahk. Orc player's turn. Is there anything Grishnahk can do? He can get to 3 inches here, and he's still going to be within 6 of both of those Uruks. So what Grishnahk is going to do is just start sprinting for the board edge. He's got a couple of orcs here to try and help. So that is the end of the turn. The alarm is automatically raised. Once the alarm is raised, the game is played as normal. On the turn, after the alarm is raised, all Uruks and Urukai resting may wake up and move as normal. Okay, so this is a big priority. Probably heroic moves are going to be called here. That's how big it is. So it's gone to Grishnahk. Now I think Ugluk can call a heroic move. We topped Malcolm Luck at 35 miles per hour. Looks like Dragon's back on the menu, boys. Alright, so Ugluk's going to call a heroic move, and then Grishnahk will counter-call. Well, they've got to do it. So, Grishnahk can be the good guys, and Ugluk can be the evil guys. No, we'll go the other way. I think Ugluk's more good than Grishnahk in this scenario, right? Let's see who wins the heroic roll-off. What do we just say? Ugluk's more good. Grishnahk! The orcs have won the heroic roll-off. That's massive. So, Grishnahk calls it with me, and everyone within 6 inches, which is all of his orcs, will get to move. He's going to move 3. And then his orcs can each stand up and move 3 inches. So he's got 1 orc here. Oh, that orc's not going to be able to reach that guy. So that orc is going to charge Ugluk. This orc is going to stand up and charge Muldoon Luck. This orc's going to stand up and charge Malcolm Luck and Sharluk, while Sharluk's prone. And this orc is going to stand up and charge Satluk. So that's Grishnahk's heroic move over. Now, of course, Ugluk's heroic move has been cancelled. So all the other orcs are going to move first. Maybe I should get some shooting with these orcs. No, I don't think so. Run, run, run. Run, 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 run. We've got a big concentration of orcs down here. They're going to take a while to get into the action. Oh, yes, some charges can be made over here. Oh, big time some charges can be made. No, only one. Tomluk is getting charged. Tomluk is way too far away from Sharluk to be doing his protection duty. Alright, now it's the Urukai's turn to move. Ugluk is pinned, unfortunately. Mluk can stand up. She's not going to be able to reach Grishnahk. So what she's going to do is just charge this Uruk and try and get some action. Oh, you know what? We'll go for some cheeky shenanigans here. We'll try and catch Grishnahk. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Grantlook's going to stand up, jump in, and Goldie's going to stand up and jump in. So 1 orc is fighting Ugluk and 3 Urukai. And let's see. 2 of them will be able to get in range of Grishnahk. So there's a big heroic combat coming there, which is going to be pretty spicy for Grishnahk. And that's all of the... I know we've got a couple more Urukai moves here. That Urukai is going to jump in there. Hammondluk is just going to... He's actually just going to sprint over to Tomluk and spear support, because the Urukai cannot afford to lose any numbers on that flank. We've got 3 orcs coming in here, 3 orcs coming in here, 2 orcs coming in here. It is a mosh pit of orcs on the outer sides. Michael says, what's the scenario here? Are the Uruks ambushing the orcs in Grishnahk? So essentially, we've got... Grishnahk is trying to sneak out of the camp with Merry and Pippin past the guards. He's raised the alarm, and now it's blue on blue. The Uruks are fighting the orcs. Stephen Fay says, I'm new here. What's with all the names? So these are our Patreon minis. So at the end of every live stream, we give away a little selection of minis that we've painted or worked on during the stream or related to that giveaway. And then those minis get assigned to one of our Patreons. And if they become the official sponsor of those minis, they get to name them, and I'll paint the little names on the bases, and then at the end of the campaign, once their journey is complete, I'll post them out to you, and you get to keep them yours forever, free of charge. As a little thank you for being one of our Patreon supporters. So it's fun, because you get to barrack through them. So these particular Urukai, Damien's Uruks, who is watching on in the chat, his GBHL podcast, so he got to name all of these Uruks and has given them some wonderful names. And you'll notice that some of the Patreon minis are quite insane and have many interesting special rules. They grow, they level up depending on their feats. We've got Goldie here, the Urukai Golden Captain, who is absolutely tank. He's got 2 attacks, 2 wounds, he's fight 5, and he has Lord of the West. So he's pretty insane. He is pretty insane. Let's jump into our combats. Urukai, Ugluk is going to call a heroic combat. And Grishnahk can't do anything about that because he's not in combat with anyone. So that fight's going to go first. Ugluk is on the ground with, I think, only 2 attacks in this edition, actually. Yep, just the 2. In fact, he may have 2 attacks in the normal edition. We've got 1 attack for the Orc, who is absolutely going to shield, and then 3 attacks for his Feld. No, 2 attacks for his Urukai, and another 2 attacks for Goldie. So we'll roll Goldie's dice separately. Oh, it's strong 6s for the Urukai, and the Orc can do nothing about that, so he's about to get rinsed. Ugluk can't make any strikes, so he will simply stand up, but Goldie can make strikes. Let's let Goldie do the work. Is the defense 6 Orc? No, it's defense 5 rather, so strength 4 is not going to cut the mustard. He'll need 5s. Oh, Goldie's got no 5s! Let's try Goldie's Lord of the West. Oh, Lord of the West gets him! Boom, 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 boom. So, that Orc is killed. Now, interestingly enough, Ugluk has stood up. But because the heroic combat's completed, even though he just stood up, I think he'll actually get to charge. So, Mluk is going to make a huge beeline all the way around and jump into the back of Grishnahk. Oh, I forgot to heroic strike with Grishnahk as well, because isn't he a lower fight value? He is. He is a lower fight value. Alright guys, question for the chat. Should we rule that Heroic Strike is available? Because technically, Heroic Strike didn't exist. That is an interesting one. I'll let you guys in the chat decide if we should let Grishnahk get a Heroic Strike. Ugluk is now going to be able to make the charge on Grishnahk. Oh man, this is going to be murder. What have I done here? I've just set up the utter annihilation of our new model here. They can't get the 3-point trap, unfortunately. Don't quite have enough movement. And Goldie is just out of spear support range. So Goldie is just going to fling on into this Orc here. Heroic Strike in 2002? Madness. Yeah, but if we don't give him the Heroic Strike, he's dead. Alright, let's leave that combat till last. Let's do all our other combats. We've got 2 Urukai and an Orc fighting up on the back here. And the Orc has got it, and he's going to make a stab onto Tomluck. Kill him! Kill him! No, no luck. The Urukai survive. We've got 2 Urukai on an Orc here again. Again, the Orcs have got it. Oh! Tauriel up! Actually, technically, I would have struck against the Uruk that's fallen over. So, we didn't kill him twice, but we killed him once. Satluk has been annihilated. The first casualty for the Urukai from a lowly Orc bowman. And we have another 2 Uruks. This is Sharluk and Malcolmluk fighting against 1 Orc. Come on, Orcs, you've won 2 in a row against odds. Oh, they got the 5, but the Urukai got the 6. Sharluk stands up, and Malcolmluk will make a strike. Finishes him off as well. There you go, 1 for 1. The Orcs have taken an Urukai at the cost of 1 Orc. Not too bad. Not too bad. No, Orcs are move 6, Goblins are move 5, but Orcs have never been move 6. Move 5 rather. That is all our normal combats. No, we've got one more. It is Goldie and 1 Urukai, which is Muldoonluck fighting against a poor 2-handed Orc, who I believe has to go 2-handed as well. So yeah, Goldie absolutely rinses him. Needs 4s to wound because he's got no shield. Uses Lord of the West to kill him twice just for a bit of fun. So 2 Orcs down. It's a rough trot for the Orcs here. In fairness, Goldie is like insanely leveled up here. So I think what we'll do, because of how much he unbalances the scenario, is we'll give Grishnahk Lord of the West. Alright, let's dive into Grishnahk. He has got, I think, just 2 attacks, right? 2 attacks for Grishnahk. Let's see what Grishnahk can do on the Rohan dice. He's got 5s and 4s. Alright, Mluk and Grantluk. What can these 2 Urukai warriors do? 3s and 4s. It's all down to Ugluk. Bearing in mind that Grishnahk still has Grishnahk of the West. 2 dice for Ugluk. Oh, he rolls double 4s. Okay, so Grishnahk has won the combat on a 5. Grishnahk has got 3 points of might, and Ugluk has 3 points of might. They've both spent 1 might, so they've got 2 might left. So if Grishnahk, Ugluk can spend 1 might to make it a 5, and then Grishnahk can spend 1 might, and then Ugluk can spend 1 might. So Ugluk can spend all of his might to win the fight on fight value. I think we'll use Lord of the West with our second dice for Grishnahk, or Grishnahk of the West. Oh, he gets a 5. No, it's not enough to increase it. So, Grishnahk has 1 might remaining, but he has been defeated, and Ugluk takes it. He's not trapped, but there are a hell of a lot of strikes to go around. So the 2 Urukai on the green and Ugluk on the black. Grishnahk is defense 4. He doesn't even have a shield, so it's 4s to wound. 4s to wound. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, Damien, are you ready to watch your Urukai just butcher poor Grishnahk? 1, 2... 2 wounds. Grishnahk has a single fate point and 1 point of might. He could still live. He needs a 3 high at least to stay in the game. Come on, Grishnahk. Hang around for the viewers. Yes, he rolls a 3, so he'll spend his last point of might to pass, and he has successfully survived a brutal attack. I don't think he's got another turn in him. Let's do priority. And it goes to the Uruks. That is bad news for Grishnahk. Very bad news. Alright, so Grishnahk is absolutely just going to get trapped by all 3. They'll all jump on him. And now I guess the other Urukai can just start shepherding to stop all the orcs from getting near. We've got a lot of orcs coming in here, but they're just going to take so long to get to the fight. These Tomluk and Hammondluk will make some charges. I think what's going to happen... That Uruk... I tell you what, all the Uruk bowmen are just going to stay and shoot, because that's... Somehow we got to, like, clutch a... Get rid of the trap on Grishnahk to give him a chance. These Urukai, he can make that charge. And then all these orcs are just running in. They're just got to try and tie up the... No, what am I doing? Put that orc in on there and get a 2-on-1. And we're just not going to go near Goldie. So I've got 1 shot with this orc. 1 shot with this orc. Okay. Shooting. 1 orc. Shooting into Grishnahk's combat. He hits on a 6! He hits! Okay, who does he hit? Does he hit the Urukai or Grishnahk? He hits the Urukai. And going for the closest one, Grant, look, he will need a 6 to kill him. Come on. No, no luck. Oh, he re-rolls 1s because I said so. No, still only a 4. Doesn't kill him. Okay, let's do our combats now. We've got Muldoonluck fighting an orc. I think this orc is going to shield. Muldoonluck obviously got the pike. Oh, the orc clutches it. No, Muldoonluck clutches it on a big 6. Going for the strike, needing 5s. Doesn't put him down. Lucky for the orc, lucky for the orc. Alright, we've got another 1-on-1 here. This orc's going to shield as well. Just shielding while we can. Ooh, shielding gets it. He pushes back Tauriel, look. And 1 bowman. I can't shield, so it's 1-on-1 here. Ooh, the orc loses. Not by much, though. And he doesn't pay for it. That is a good outcome for the orcs. No casualties so far. Let's go over here where we've got 2 orcs fighting a single Uruk, which is Hammondluk. Oh, big 6s on both, and Hammondluk wins it on the fight value and executes an orc. That is a big loss, not the death we thought we'd have. And then 1 orc fighting Hammondluk. We got to try and get lucky here and go for a kill. Oh, the orcs have got it. Come on, big kill. Swing it back, swing it back. He rolls a 5. Tomluk has a shield though, so that was a lot of excitement over nothing. Okay. That is all the combats that don't matter. Now we have the combat that matters. We have, good night, Michael. Thank you for watching, dude. Ugluk has 2 dice. The Uruks have 2 dice. And Grishnahk has 2 dice. Grishnahk in the green. Let's start with Grishnahk. It's just way more exciting when we do it that way. He's rolled a 3 and a 2. That's a poor start. What do the others get? They get 5s. So there is no might in the fight. If Grishnahk can Lord of the Grishnahk, or Grishnahk of the West, up to a 6, he will win. Come on, Grishnahk. 1 in 6 chance here to stay in the game for 1 more turn. Oh, he gets a 4. Alright, well, he's absolutely rinsed, obviously. Taking double strikes, needing 4s, 1 more 4, and he dies. Oh my lord. 1-1-3-3. He's not dead yet. He is, of course, taking double strikes. Let's roll them 1 at a time. Grishnahk's second strike. Fails to wound on a 3. Emluk's second strike. Oh, she gets it. Well, we drew it out a little bit longer. And Grishnahk falls. And Emluk is the model who killed him. So she takes the hobbit. So the Urukai simply have to get that back to the campfire, which is our little marker in the middle there, to win. Alright, that is huge. That is huge. Let's jump onto priority. It's a tie, so it swings to the Orcs. That's useful, because the Orcs need to find a way to get some kills here. So, what we're going to do is just try and, like, mop up in such a way that we're fighting multiple combats that can't be peeled off. So, the Orcs have set up a good shield wall here. They've got 3-on-1, 1-on-1, and 2-on-1 that the Urukai won't be able to mess with. Sharluk isn't going to be able to get there. Oh, and then over here, I'll guess we'll just pair them up to keep them away. So that's our best chance. I don't really want to fight Goldie, so this bowman's just going to run off. Goldie will run in. These Uruks will run in. And Emluk can only move 3 inches. So we've got some very important fights here for the Orcs. They've got to make at least 2 kills this turn to get lucky. Let's start over there in the far corner. Hammerluck, Spearman on Spearman. Ooh, it's a tie, so it goes to Hammerluck, and he kills another Orc. That is 2 Orcs in 2 turns for Hammerluck. I think he's on the verge of an upgrade. If he can do a 3rd in 3 turns, he's getting an upgrade for sure. Tomluk against an Orc. All the Uruks get it, and Tomluk doesn't put him down, though. Doesn't put him down. Alright, now let's do the 2-on-1. Pikeman versus 2 Orcs. This is a kill they have to get, and the Pikeman ties it on fight value. Doesn't kill an Orc. That is tough for the Orcs. This Orc, I said that they have to make 2 kills this turn. I was planning on shielding with this guy, but I'm going to risk it now. Ooh, he wins it just. Come on. Pay me back, Orc. No, fails to wound. And now 3 Orcs on 1 Pikeman. They get the 6. And they get a 6. They killed a single Urukai and lost an Orc. That is not going to be enough to swing the game for them, I think. Let's try priority. Another win here for Orcs would be very important. They do get it. They do get it. Okay. How can we stop this from happening? We got to get kills without fighting Ugluk again. Let's feed Goldie 1 model. And then we'll get 2 on Sharluk. 1 on Malcolm Look, 2 on Grant Look. Ugluk's not going to be able to get into combat, but Grant Look's going to be able to. He'll have the move. So it's basically a bunch of 1-on-1s now. And we'll run that bowman back over to give that dude against Goldie a chance. Emluk is 1 turn away from getting a base contact. This Orc is just going to charge Hammerlook, and Tomlook is just going to run in for next turn. It's a slow death for the Orcs. Let's start with the 2-on-1. That's going to give the Orcs some hope. Ooh, the Orcs get it. They need a big 6 to take out Emlook. Oh, Damien. Oh, no. She goes down. Emlook's been taken. Or Sharluk, rather. Sharluk has been taken. There we go. First kill. A strong start for the Orcs. Let's keep risking it for the biscuit. Malcolm Look versus 1 Orc. The Orcs get it. Come on, a big 6 here. Oh, a 5 would do it. A 5 does it. What a swing. 2 kills for the Orcs. Let's keep going. We'll just keep risking it. 1-on-1. The Orcs get it again. He will need a 6 this time. Oh, it was a 6. It was a 6. It slid out of shot, I'm sure, but 100% was a 6. 3 Urukai. Grand Look has been killed. The Orcs are back in this. Our Tauriel Look fighting 1. We're just going to keep on risking it. Now, okay, no, here's an important decision. We're about to lose an Orc over here against Goldie. Should I shield here just to make sure that I don't lose this game? No, I think we gotta go all in, right, guys? We gotta go all in. Let's go. Yep. 2 dice. We got the dice. We got the advantage here. Oh my god, it's triple Snake Eyes. It's triple Snake Eyes and the Uruk wins on fight value. That is infuriating. He doesn't make a kill though, importantly. Oh, that could have been 4 kills there. Alright, we've got 1 fight left over on the flank. Hammondlook, he has won 3 times in a row. Or twice in a row. Ah, the Orc finally gets it. Doesn't put an end to him. Needed a 5 there, unfortunately. 1 last fight. Goldie fighting 2 bowmen. Goldie with Lord of the West. The Orcs have got it on a 6. Goldie will have to Lord of the West up to a 6, which he does not. They've got a chance to wound the man himself, needing 5s. 1 wound on Goldie! So, the Orcs didn't lose a single model. They killed 3 Uruks and wounded Goldie. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in this game. Priority. Double 6s. It swings to... Who just had it? The Orcs did, right? Because they were able to set up their pairings again. So it'll go to the Uruks. No, Chaos can't use Head Taker. I don't actually think he has... Does he still have... I think he has, like, the old Head Taker rule. But no, I don't think he can just execute Orcs with Head Taker. Or maybe he should be able to. It happened in this scene. So, Grishnahk is going to charge 2 Orcs to lock them up. Tauriel is going to charge 2 Orcs. Look can move in base contact. And Goldie will charge the 2 bowmen. Look can just move a bit closer, I guess. That leaves the Spearman to charge Look. These guys will keep fighting over here. And that's it. That's it. That's all we can do. Alright, Goldie. We're going to start there again after his dismal showing last turn. Fighting 2 bowmen. Oh, they've done it again. They've done it again. He's got Lord of the West, though. Doesn't need to get to a 6, though, this time. He's lost again. 1-5 and Goldie is killed. 2 dice. This is like, what, 50% chance that Goldie's dead now? Oh, he survives. The Orcs needed that. The Orcs really needed that. Alright, we've got another 2-on-1 here for the Orcs. Oh, strong from Tauriel. Oh, she pushes them back and eviscerates one. Tauriel doing the work for Damien's Urukai. Ugluk fighting 2 Orcs. Oh my god, the Orcs have won. And just put a wound? No, doesn't put a wound on Ugluk. Alright, he backs away. Let's do Hammondlook versus that Orc over there. The Orc wins again. Come on, 5s. Oh, it was a 5 and then it bounced. Hammondlook survives. And then we have the fight that matters. Look versus the Orc Warrior. The Orcs have got it. Needs a 6 to wound Look. Ah, oh, no luck. She backs away. Most importantly, though, backing away off the objective. So important. So important. The game's got 1 more turn. So, I don't think we lost any Orcs there. Oh, no, we did. We lost an Orc. We lost an Orc. So, the Orcs have got a tougher turn here, but they've won priority. Huge, 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 huge. So, Tauriel's got to be tied up. Ugluk has got to be tied up. In fact, Ugluk and Tomlook are going to be tied up. These 2 Orcs are going to run around and trap Look. Look is now trapped, and with priority, that gives those Orcs a shot. Is that Bowman in range of Look? Oh yeah. Let's make sure this happens. The Bowman charges Look as well. This is our only chance. Can't believe this game is still going. Cannot believe this game is still going. Okay, so let's do all our single combats first. We've got Tauriel who just eviscerated an Orc. She wins. No, she loses this time. Her Orc enemy is embattled. Doesn't wound her, though. Empowered, I should say. Goldie. Goldie fighting 2. No, fighting 1 now. He finally wins a fight on a 6. Doesn't manage to wound the bowman. Goldie is struggling this game. Ugluk fighting 1 Orc. No, Ugluk and Tomlock fighting a single Orc. It's all 6s to both sides, but Ugluk's obviously got the fight value. Oh my god, he fails to wound. He straight up fails to wound. Good work, Tomlock. Obviously got encouraged by Tomlock's mediocrity there. Hammondlook and this Orc fighting again for the 4th turn in a row. Oh, double 6s. Hammondlook wins. And finally kills him. So that is 3 kills for Hammondlook. I think he deserves Lord of the West for that. Hammondlook can be the 2nd Urukai. That is, a whole bunch of 6s rolled, and 3 important kills for Hammond Luck. Alright, we have 1 combat left. Emlook, Damien, Mr. Damien O'Byrne, are we shielding or are we fighting like an Urukai? I'll let you decide. The 3 orcs are all going in strong on this trapped Urukai warrior here. Let's see what they go. I'll let you decide what your shielding does, and then by the time that arrives, I'll have these results. The Uruks are starting first. We don't shield, he says. Oh, he's going in strong. Emlook rolls a 4. Oh, she's done it! She's done it on a 4! 3 Urukai, 3 orcs, and they couldn't beat her. Oh, there goes the orc's chance to run away with the objective. Now she gets a chance to bop one on the head, and she doesn't manage to do it. What a clutch from Emlook. Alright, let's do priority one last time. It falls to the Uruks. Emlook will be able to move in base contact with the objective, and all the orcs, oh, not quite all of them actually, will be able to be tagged. No, Hammond looks out of the way, so there's still one more fight between 1 orc and Emlook. It's all 1v1s. Alright, let's start with the one-on-ones. Tomlook fighting an orc. Tomlook loses, what a surprise. And is eviscerated. What a moment by the orc. This beautiful little orc choppy chop. Oh, whoops, that orc is meant to be tagged. Grishnahk's meant to be fighting too. So Grishnahk fighting both. Grishnahk loses. Oh, no. Sorry, Ugluk, I mean. And Ugluk is Urukai. And he annihilates another orc. The numbers are thinning for both sides. We've got Tauriel look fighting her nemesis over here. Oh, she's lost again. Doesn't pay for it, though. And Goldie fighting his nemesis, the evil orc bowman. The bowman's won again! Lord of the West for Goldie? Nah. 1-5 here, and Goldie is dead. Oh, so close! Goldie's like slowly backing away to the combats. So Ugluk, that fight's done. So we've got 1 fight left. Emlook versus the Orc Captain. 1 dice each. Oh, it's double 6s and Emlook wins on the 6 again. And she makes a strike, doesn't kill him. And at the end of the turn, she's in base contact with the campfire whilst holding the hobbits. It is a victory for the forces of Isengard. Our new model Grishnahk didn't do a whole lot because I set up a pretty epic heroic combat play against him, which was foolish when trying to showcase the new model. So apologies to our future owner for Grishnahk, and that ends our wonderful scenario for this Battle Games of Middle-earth. I'm going to swing back to the holding screen, move the camera, and we'll grab the Patreon wheel, and we will find out who wins our lucky Grishnahk from today. Oh hey, alright, we are back. Need my D20 actually. Where'd you go? So prepared, Lockie. So prepared. Where's my D20 gone for rolling my Patreon? Alright, back in a sec, guys. False start, false start. I found it, we're good, we're good. Hello, I'm here. This is a crazy angle that I've got going on today, but anyway. So that was wild. Grishnahk got a little bit chopped, shall we say. Didn't do the greatest. I'm way too wide, but I can't bother moving the camera now. So, it's time to do our giveaway. For those of you who've joined us for the first time, the models that we play with and use in each installment of Battle Games in Middle-earth get assigned to one of our Patreons. They become the official sponsor of those models, and then at the end of that model's journey in the campaign, they get to keep them. I post them out to anywhere they live in the world. Good sentence. So today we've got Grishnahk. Who is going to become the sponsor of our Grishnahk? Let's find out. We'll give the big old Patreon wheel a big spin. We are in Bay number 7. So our potential winners are Amy Behrman, Daniel Jung, James Carver, Mandalore 331, Gavin Booth, Dreadnought, Harry Bates, Samuel Bogstrom, Reese Richards, Mosley, David Clubley, and John Paul Ward. A couple of our newer patrons there at the end as well. Let's roll a big D20 and see where we lie. It is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's check that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mr. Hazzle Dazzle Harry Bates, Lord of the Memes himself, you are now the proud sponsor of the Grishnahk Mini. And Harry was watching before. I don't know if he's still watching. Harry, shout out if you have gone off to the beach in the Whitsundays or you are still tuning in. You are now the proud sponsor of our Patreon Mini for this installment. That was a great battle report, actually. I really like these kind of fun, obscure scenarios. If you guys are keen to be involved in potentially becoming a Patreon sponsor for one of our minis, getting access to the Discord, or just supporting the channel, make sure you do head over to patreon.com. It's linked down in the description below, /Zorpazorp. And you can find out whatever you want. You have to basically only pledge like $1 to be on that wheel for the giveaways. Which I'm gonna have to like do something about, because it's getting a bit... It's too small. I don't know. I have to like make a bigger wheel or something, because I love the wheel. It's very fun to spin. Let me know if you guys have any questions. That wheel is from IKEA, Michael, if you're worried about where you can buy them. So yeah, good fun. Good fun. Actually, I don't think they're asking about the wheel. I think they're talking about models. So yeah, that was, what do we got next week? Next week is Aomer. Aomer, Marshal of the Pelennor. So we got a pretty cool thing. I think we're going to paint the old school Aomer. Keep with the old school vibe. I did have the new Aomer, but I might be using that for something else. Which is all about that little theme of the video that's coming, Rohani theme. So, could be a cool little conversion fodder. I'm not sure. It seems crazy to butcher that insane plastic kit, but we'll see how we go. So, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It was a bit more of a managed time today. How long have we been going? I can't see on this screen. So, there we go. However long it's been. I think we might be under 3 hours. Yeah, there we go. A quicker one for today. Which is a bit more manageable for you guys who are watching in Europe to be able to see the full stream and not miss out on the battle report. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I see you next time right here on Zorpazorp Gaming next Monday night or Monday morning or Sunday night for painting up Aomer on the next installment of our Battle Games in Middle-earth live stream. I'll see you guys then. Cheers.